Okay guys, so this was the last of the notes from last time. We have the cumulative frequency and the relative cumulative frequency. And now we're going to talk about an ogive. An ogive is the graph of a cumulative relative frequency distribution. And it can be done with actually just a cumulative frequency, so that's what I did here. So you just do the counts, or with the percents. And I prefer the percents, but I put both in so that you could see it would be the same. And I want to show you what I did was over here, from 0 to 10, there were 2 or 1%. So from 0 to 10, I go to 1%, or which would have been 2. From 10 to 20, I'm at 9 people with that score, or 0.045. So this would be 9 people, or maybe 4.5%. And I did that all the way up, and I can connect them. That's a really bad connection. Let's try that one more time. Okay, and this is an ogive. And it's helpful because it can help you find those middle scores. So like over here where we didn't know what proportion scored 45, we can find that now by going to 45 and going up and over, and it looks to be about 20%, okay, or 19%. So that is why an ogive is helpful. I'm going to quickly show you what it would look like on the TI Inspire. So move this over here. So here is the TI Inspire calculator. I've loaded all my data from that chart. Here is just the raw data. Okay, at 10 there were, I'm going to go back to my chart and think about it. At 10 there were 2, at 20 there were 9. It's the raw data, so you can see that it goes up and down. Here is the frequency, the cumulative frequency. So there were 2, and then there were 9. Sorry, over here it was 2, 7, because there were 7 in 10 to 20, which would add up to 9. So we've got the 2, and then plus the 7 is 9, and then plus the next 9 is 18, and it goes all the way up. And if I change this from 0 to 200 people to 0 to 100%, it's the same, and I connect it. And what's cool about this is I could go right here to about 45 and see that it's about 19 or 20%. Okay, so that's an ogive. You will use these a lot, and we'll hit them again in class. You should be able to do them by hand, and it's just basically plotting. The key thing is it'll always go up, it'll never go back down, because you're adding the 2 people to the 7 people to get 9. That's the percent one. Let's do it this way. The 2 people to plus the 7 to get 9, plus another 9 to get 18 total, plus there were 12 in the next one, which gives you 30. And so it should always go up. People sometimes try to do this for an ogive, and it doesn't work. So I'll hide that and hide that. Let's go back to this. Okay. So there's my ogive. So it says, what score separates the lower half of the scores from the upper half of the scores? Well, that's the other direction. Okay, so that would be the 50% mark. Go over and down, and maybe it'd be like 61 or 62. Okay. The pth percentile of a distribution is the value in the distribution such that p% of the observations lie at or below that level. So what is the 30th percentile for this distribution? Well, I go over to 30%, and I just want to know what score is that cutoff. And right here, it looks to be about 55. So 55 is the score, and I really need to put approximately, unless you're using a calculator. Okay, it's just kind of approximate. If I were using the calculator, you could get actual perfectly pretty good data. But about 55%, or excuse me, the score of 55, there are about 30 people that scored 55, less than 55. Okay, 70th percentile, the same thing. Maybe 69, a score, approximate score of 69. That means 70% of the people scored 69 or less. And I should definitely say this is 30% of the people scored 55 or less. They could have scored 55. The median then, we'd need the middle score. That's also the 50 percentile. Okay, so back to this, that'd be 61. And we could make a box plot. I'm not going to do that for you right now.